What if having very few friends, or even none at all, is not a social flaw, but a direct reflection of how your brain regulates identity, stimulation, and internal safety? Throughout life, we are taught a silent equation. The larger your social circle, the greater your personal value. A packed schedule means success. A phone that constantly lights up means relevance. And when someone doesn't live that way, when their circle is small or even non-existent, the conclusion tends to come automatically. Something must be wrong. A lack of skill, a lack of charisma, a failure to adapt. But psychology rarely accepts automatic conclusions. It asks a different question. Not, how many friends does this person have? But how does this person stabilize their sense of identity when no one is watching? Because having few friends is not random behavior. In many cases, it is a natural consequence of how the nervous system was calibrated over time. Now think honestly. When you imagine someone with very few friends, what image forms in your mind? Rejected? Socially anxious? Out of place? And when you imagine someone constantly surrounded by people, do you automatically associate that with confidence, balance, and strength? Perhaps those associations are not as simple as they seem. If you're here because you've always wondered whether your small social circle says something about you, subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the invisible architecture of the human mind. And leave a like so I know this kind of deeper psychological analysis resonates with you. Now let's understand what's really happening. There are individuals whose nervous systems rely heavily on social stimulation to maintain a sense of stability, approval, recognition, inclusion. These signals activate dopamine, not as shallow pleasure, but as neurological reinforcement. The brain learns that external validation reduces internal uncertainty. Each interaction confirms identity. Over time, visibility becomes synonymous with security. But there are others whose regulatory systems operate differently. Their identity does not depend on constant social mirrors. It is built on intrinsic values, internal coherence, personal integrity, alignment between thought and action. Dopamine is activated not by applause, but by quiet progress. Not by being chosen, but by staying consistent. Not by exposure, but by internal clarity. One system asks, do they approve of who I am? The other asks, am I still aligned with who I know I am? That difference reshapes social structure entirely. But there is an even deeper layer. Some individuals possess heightened neural sensitivity. This does not mean fragility. It means depth of processing. They pick up micro-expressions. Subtle energy shifts, slight changes in tone. Their brains register details that most people overlook. That depth comes with a cost. In highly stimulating social environments, the nervous system works in overdrive. Every conversation is processed on multiple levels. Every reaction is analyzed. Every silence is interpreted. Now imagine sustaining that level of processing across dozens of relationships simultaneously. What feels like excitement to some, feels like saturation to others. That is why, after social interactions, certain individuals feel an almost physical need for silence. It is not contempt for people. It is nervous system recalibration. Silence is not emptiness. It is recovery. Imagine two people leaving the same event. One goes home energized, carrying residual stimulation, already thinking about the next interaction. The other goes home quietly, needing hours to reorganize thoughts, replay conversations mentally, and rebalance emotions. Neither is wrong. They are simply regulating differently. Now consider another dimension. Often, individuals with stronger internal regulation developed early emotional autonomy. They learned to process feelings independently. They learned to trust their own interpretation rather than relying heavily on external validation. This strengthens internal structure, but it also reduces dependency on constant social reinforcement. Over time, this pattern solidifies. The person does not avoid relationships. They select them. Not because they don't need people, but because they don't need many. We live in a culture that confuses volume with value. The larger the group, the greater the perceived status. But popularity is volatile. It depends on environment, on life stage, on context. Internal coherence is more stable. Someone can have hundreds of contacts and still feel constant insecurity. Another person can have 2 meaningful relationships and feel emotionally grounded. The difference is not quantity. It is where identity is anchored. Having few friends out of fear is different from having few friends because of internal structure. Avoidance creates isolation. Clarity creates filtration. When self-worth does not depend on constant external reinforcement, the motivation to maintain misaligned connections naturally decreases. The circle shrinks. Stability increases. Perhaps you never had few friends because of social inability. Perhaps you simply have a nervous system that prioritizes depth over volume. Perhaps the silence you seek is not loneliness, but internal reorganization. Perhaps the need for fewer stimuli is not limitation, but precision. And perhaps you were never lacking, you were regulating. Now I want to know honestly, when you leave a crowded social environment, do you feel energized or drained? Comment below which experience is more common for you. It reveals a lot about how your nervous system functions. And if this video resonated with you, watch. If being alone feels better than being with people, something important is happening. It dives deeper into this exact idea of silence, regulation, and identity, and will help you understand even more why your social pattern may not be a flaw but a structure. I'll see you there.